Let's talk today about the difference between being busy and being productive. When I was at the university, at the beginning of the year I promised myself that I would write an ideal term paper. I imagined how I would read sources every day, look for unique material and write paragraphs of text one at a time, but for some reason, I started work only in the last week. If you recognize yourself, don't be surprised. After all, this behavior is normal for every person. For the first time, Parkinson said this in his book. The law is as follows. Work fills all the time that is allotted for it. For example, right now I need to finish a video for a channel. According to Parkinson's law, no matter how much time I have, I won't finish early. Therefore, I always set a minimum time for work. Imagine that you need to write a text for 2 pages. It will take at most 2 hours, but you allocate a whole day for this work. Then your brain, as it were, looks at this number, adjusts itself and complicates the task itself in order to fill all the empty time. How does it make things harder? For example, it reduces the speed of its work. You suddenly start thinking very slowly, each new line is difficult, thoughts get confused or the brain can start generating endless excuses. Now you have already set to work, written one line and then, unexpectedly, you remember that you urgently need to call someone. He also knows how to forget about the task. In general, our brain has many tools, but the goal is always the same, to stretch the task for all available time. As a result, you really write a simple 2-page text for a whole day and also strain. The first rule of productivity is, set the time of work for which it is possible to complete the task but no more. Excessive stretching of time is dangerous for us. We think that the process is underway. It looks like we are writing a term paper. We seem to be busy, which means we can't do anything else, including rest. But in reality, the real work stands still, and we are on a suspended floor in an adequate state. But how to feel about this law in everyday life? Make a schedule for the week, write down how much time you need to complete each task, and then divide it in half. Once you get to work, you will find that everything works much faster than before. Your brain will operate in a different mode. Quicker and more efficient. Do not be surprised, it really works and there are examples in history. Until recently, school children in the Soviet Union studied only 10 grades, but at the end of school, they managed to learn more than many graduates of modern universities know. This is an apparent confirmation of Parkinson's law. Don't waste your time on work in the hope of doing better. This, on the contrary, will reduce productivity, but increase employment and deprive you of a good rest. In fact, you can do 100 times more.